So, welcome back. It's Elizabeth with Giving Voice to Recovery, talking about the patterns of codependency. And today I want to do a deep dive on one of my unfavorite coping mechanism patterns called avoidance. Welcome to Giving Voice to Recovery, where transformation meets inspiration. Our exclusive Metamorphosis design gracefully adorns our totes, t-shirts, and the Power to Change journal. Each piece is a symbol of the transformative journey towards recovery and self-discovery. Visit givingvoicetorecovery.net today and explore our Metamorphosis collection. Okay, avoidance and how it's different than denial. So let's kind of go there. Denial is when you don't even know. It's like you're so numbed out, you are really, really unaware. And you're unaware and it's very vague. Avoidance is when you're not unaware, you're aware. It's like when the smoke alarm's going off, but you just kind of don't want to deal with the fire. So you think you claim the problem as being the smoke alarm. It's almost like blaming the alarmist for the problem. So avoidance shows up. It's like I don't want to deal with this person. So it can show up as making the other person the problem instead of the problem is that I don't know how to deal with this problem with this person, or I don't know how to let this person know that I don't want to have a relationship with anymore. Or maybe this person expects more from me than I want to give them, and I don't know how to I don't know how to get this person to back off of me, so I'll just avoid them. Well, the problem is the world gets really small when we start avoiding. As a pattern, it's one thing if somebody is actually a dangerous person to you, that is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when you're running the pattern of, I don't know how to stand up for myself. I don't know how to, be assertive and say, look, I think you want more than I have to give. I need to let you know that I'm not going to be able to give that to you. So avoidance is literally standing in your truth with courage. Not an easy thing to do if you learned how to avoid scary people as a child and you go through your whole life based on that. See, coping mechanisms might have worked really well for me when I'm 3 years old hiding under the bed, avoiding the angry person. But at 30 and 60, that same coping mechanism doesn't work. So avoidance is it's literally it's knowing the problem is there, but willful ignorance, like I am willfully going to justify why I'm not going to deal with it. And this is it's more uncomfortable to stay there. There's a lot of relief on the other side of it, but I can say in my experience that changing this pattern is challenging because the fear that comes up is pretty palpable. And one of the things you can do when you know you have to confront something that's frightening, scary, and and you're thinking to yourself, why is this scary? I'm an adult. Why can't I just tell this person to back off? Or why can't I just tell this person no? That irrational fear. The first part of it is to know that it's your problem. I am having a problem expressing myself. Own the problem. It's not that they're pushy, it's that I'm not standing up for myself. Pushy people, they're all over the place, right? I get pushy. Everybody gets pushy. But when you don't know how to take care of yourself, you'll just avoid people. Well, the problem is you avoid everybody after a while. And we need people. So how do you show up as a grown-up, right? So the first thing when you first start really working on being assertive is to model other people. Learn to model other people. when you learn to model somebody who does this well, you're going to laugh, but some of the people that I modeled are movie stars in old movies when they're saying no. There's some really good examples of people standing up to people, because it was kind of a big deal, I guess, back in the day when women would stand up. Well, they had screenwriters and they had language. So you can go and find models, maybe in the movies, maybe in modern movies, maybe in songs, maybe in interactions with other strong people that have found language preset the language. Like sometimes if you have the language in place that you can just pull that up like a dialogue, say, oh, I know I have this problem, confronting people when they're pushing me around. What could I do to develop language that could take care of me in advance, that's self-respecting, other-respecting, and just true, and super simple, super to the point, and then you practice it. That is super helpful. I have a whole, I journal this stuff. I keep lists of these kinds of things so that it can support me in using words to set my parameters around what I'm willing to do and not do, and who I'm, willing to allow close into my life. So when you have language in place and you practice it, it's a lot more doable because you are ready for it. When you already know you have a hard time standing up around, maybe somebody takes advantage of you in a store, so you could come up with language around that, and you have a reoccurring pattern with that. Okay, I'm sorry, there was a mistake made. I need to let you know. Okay, or excuse me, let me be clear. These are some language patterns that you can adopt that other people have, and they're all over the place. So go find them. Go find the ones that work for you, and then adopt those and practice them with the people who feel more safe, so that when somebody who really challenges you, who really wants to push you around, right? Because if you don't stand up to those kind of people, what happens is you get pushed around and controlled versus, controlling yourself. Okay. So you can fall back into compliance and denial easily. See how this all works together. It's crazy. It makes you crazy if you live like that. At least that was my experience. And coming out of it and standing up for yourself and say, you know what, let me be clear. Let me be absolutely clear. And you stand in your truth and you speak the truth. And it's okay if people get mad at you, right? It's okay. People get mad at people. You get mad at people, right? We all have the right to our feelings, and you have the right to yours, and I have the right to mine. We get to speak up for ourselves. And when you learn to do it and you learn to articulate it in short, concise messages, people will hear you and they'll change how they come at you. Yeah. You don't have to be afraid of people, and you don't have to avoid them. And that also goes for all kinds of things in life. It's not just people. Avoidance can be around money, it can be around time, it can be around work issues, it can be around anything. If it's a pattern, find the avoidance pattern. What am I trying really hard to ignore? That's basically the work of, and it really takes a conscious decision to say, you know what? I'm going to do some adulting. I'm going to stand up for myself. And you may need to take somebody with you when you first start learning how to do this. And that's okay. If you were patterned out of this really young in life, you may need some support adopting these new, healthier behaviors. Yeah. So I hope this is helpful. I hope it's instructive. I would love to hear some of the language that you find that works for you. And, I try to stay away from profanities and things like that. When you're clear, concise, to the point, and you own it, it comes across loud and clear. So yeah, there's great ways. The classier, the better. That's what I say. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. And if you enjoy this work, share it with others. I appreciate your love and support. Thank you so much.